This was a real emotional, heart-wrenching story. Here we had O.J. Simpson, accused of a capital crime, and it was tragic.
It began last Monday with an image no one ever expected to see. O.J. Simpson in handcuffs. His ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and her friend, Ronald Goldman, the victims of a brutal double murder. It would end with an unbelievable drama played out on live TV. O.J. Simpson, murder suspect and fugitive, being pursued by police as the nation held its breath and Simpson's friends pleaded with the former football hero.
Give yourself up, man. Just stop. Please stop.
In the time between those two events, a media circus rivaling anything in print and broadcast history. Throughout it all, one question on everyone's mind, a question no one imagined would ever be asked about one of the nation's most beloved personalities.
Did he do it? Everyone is speculating.
Last Thursday, both victims were laid to rest separately. 25-year-old Ronald Goldman, a man everyone said was full of dreams, dreams that will never be realized. And 35-year-old Nicole Simpson, O.J.'s ex-wife. At her funeral, a grim-looking O.J. Simpson, the couple's young children, by his side. After the funerals, the media began to report that the arrest of O.J. Simpson for murder was imminent. It looked like this bizarre week-long drama was about to come to an end. But even here in Los Angeles, a town full of screenwriters and storytellers, no one could have predicted what was going to happen next. O.J. Simpson, the former star running back, was about to make his last desperate run.
He is a wanted murder suspect, and we will go find him.
On Friday, O.J. Simpson was to have surrendered to authorities. He didn't. Simpson was declared a fugitive. As authorities mounted their manhunt, the rumor mill churned. At Nicole Simpson's condo, the scene of the murders, a huge crowd gathered amid speculation that O.J. had killed himself there.
O.J. Simpson is not at this location. There's nothing going on here.
The near hysteria over Simpson's whereabouts continued to mount.
Don't feel sorry for me. I've had a great life, great friends. Please think of the real O.J. and not this lost person.
At a televised press conference, one of O.J.'s friends read a letter written by Simpson.
It appeared to us that it was a suicide note. And at that point, we decided to get in the helicopter and take a look at canyons and see if we can find O.J.
Veteran pilot and reporter Bob Turr has covered virtually every major L.A. news story from the air. His aircraft was one of a squadron of news choppers that would document O.J.'s run.
Highway Patrol.
Yeah, I think I just saw O.J. Simpson on the 5 freeway, and there was he's heading north, and I got the license plate of the white Bronco 3DH. Y503, and we like looked at him, you know, and he like stared us down like he was dead.
That 911 call helped police zero in on the vehicle Simpson was riding in.
And within a matter of minutes, we were overhead. We found him. The police found him. And at first, there was one patrol unit, and within a minute, there were literally 20 patrol units behind him.
Simpson was in the back of the vehicle. Driving was his longtime pal, Al Cowlings, who also called 911.
This is AC. I have O.J. in the car.
Okay, where are you?
Please, I'm coming up the 5 freeway.
Okay.
Right now, we are okay, but you got to tell the police to just back off. He's still alive, but he got a gun to his head. He just want to see his mother. Let me get him to the house.
During the low-speed pursuit, the motorcade would travel some 60 miles, going through 2 counties on 3 freeways.
It was an incredible sight. Thousands of people lined up along the side of the road, waving and trying to give O.J. Simpson support. And what we were watching on live television was almost like a funeral for a fallen friend.
This was one time when we were able to help, because there had been enough bloodshed, enough hurt, enough pain, and we didn't want to see any more.
Local sportscaster Jim Hill is a former pro football player and longtime friend of O.J. Simpson's. He was among the first to appeal to Simpson over the radio, hoping the men in the white Bronco were listening.
O.J., if you can hear me, Al, if you can hear me, whoever's in that truck, if you can hear us, please, gentlemen, please just pull over and stop.
It was just one of those things that comes from the heart, And when it comes from the heart, you hope you're able to reach out and to touch someone, to help someone. And we had some people speaking from the heart on that Friday.
Just stop. Please stop. In Jesus' name, just stop, man.
OJ, it's probably the fourth quarter, and this is the last play of the game, and there's no time on the clock.
In one of the most disturbing twists, some spectators acted like they were at a sporting event, a sharp contrast to the reality of a potentially suicidal suspect in a brutal double murder.
I don't know what they were doing or what they were even thinking.
After some 2 hours on the road, the caravan finally pulled up to the Simpson estate. With dozens of police officers waiting, the tension continued to mount.
The SWAT team members were in a position to make a move if it was necessary, and fortunately it wasn't.
Al Collins went back and forth from the car to the house on behalf of his friend, O.J. Simpson.
It was just an individual that was just lost. He was just absolutely lost. And he had his best friend in the world with him, who I think was trying to prevent him from taking his life.
Finally, O.J. Simpson got out of the vehicle and went into the house.
He had a couple of picture frames with him, and he walked inside the house, and that was the last we saw of him.
Inside, Simpson used the restroom, had a glass of orange juice, and did the one thing he needed to do most. He called his mother.
When you're at that end of the line, when you're at the end of the rope, you're trying to tie a knot in that end of the rope and hang on. You start calling for Mama.
And so ended the manhunt. O.J. Simpson was taken into custody. And here in the City of the Angels, one of the most celebrated angels had fallen.